I started this video talking about Amy Schumer, but I got distracted by Comicsgate. Turns out that comic artists are incredibly thin-skinned. I thought fat people were jolly. We need to have a Comicsgate diet goal. We do a before and after thing. We start eating veggies and put down the fried chicken at 2 a.m. I'm not calling anyone a fat bastard, but let me politely suggest that we could all stand to lose 20 pounds, myself included. I know nobody wants to be called fat or have a double chin or jiggly tits or a lard butt. Come on, guys. Suck in those guts. We're the Ghostbusters. Cecil is the only one in Comicsgate who's actually losing weight, but unfortunately EVS and Mike seem to be finding it. We're starting to look like Gail Simone. We're the gross crew. Click the links to send me art for the channel, comic books, or if you just want to tell me to address an issue or to go F myself. You can hit me up, Patreon, Coffee, the Cash Apps, all the rest, but it's probably better if you don't send me money because I would probably spend it on weed, whiskey, and Vietnamese hookers. Probably with a penis. Or if you want to design a t-shirt, whatever. Okay, no Comicsgate today except for this teeny tiny little bit. Can we all just lighten up a bit with all this fighting? EVS took some shots at people and they called him out for it. Maybe everyone just try to agree to take a break for a month? More on that in a second. I saw Snatch last night with Amy Schumer. It's a movie only Zach could love, except it doesn't have enough explosions. Amy Schumer is about 180 pounds and she's wearing a flimsy sundress the whole time. So if you like that sort of thing, you get to see a lot of it. Goldie Hawn plays the mom. She's got to be in her 70s, but she's in better shape than Amy Schumer. I know you're wondering, why am I watching such a lowbrow film? Well, first of all, I love bad movies like this, especially this one, because Amy Schumer is such a horrible person. She's been accused of stealing jokes, and if you look at the evidence against her, it's pretty serious. So she is easy to hate. But this film has been percolating in the back of my mind for a while because it's just a stupid movie, but it probably couldn't be made today. In just a few short years, the cultural Marxists have moved the window so far left that even soy girl, ultra-leftist Amy Schumer would be canceled because she dared to portray brown criminals in another country as brown criminals. In current year, 1984, portraying Hispanic criminals as criminals is strictly haram. There was a certain comic book artist that tried to get his comic on Kickstarter and was rejected because the people in the gangs were Spanish. The truth nowadays is Islamophobic. It kind of reminds me of those idiots who go traveling through the Middle East because it's not PC to talk about what dangerous hellholes they actually are. So these poor saps go over to Bumfuckistan, get struggle snuggled, and then get their head chopped off. The alt media covers it, but the mainstream media ignores it. So more virtue signalers go over there so they can post Instagram pics of Durka Durka land, and then the whole thing repeats. It wasn't that long ago that some 20-year-old said they were going to... God darn you. Said they were going to go backpacking through the Middle East or Central America or Africa. Everyone would tell them that they were insane. But that's not PC because all cultures are equal and morals are relative, I guess. But Amy Schumer makes a movie that shows criminals that look like criminals, not the usual blonde man bad stuff, which we all know is horse feathers. But Hollywood hates the blondes and redheads. It's almost as if... Well, never mind. So this movie felt like a throwback to the 1980s, the Romancing the Stone, but without any of the charm because, after all, it's Amy Schumer, and, well, it's Amy Schumer. And if you want to see Goldie Hawn, go find any of her films from back in the 80s and earlier. She doesn't deserve to be punished with a film this bad. But, to be fair, this is a film so bad that it's good, but not good enough to pay money for. If you paid for this in the theater, then you'd be very ticked off. There are a few funny scenes. Amy Schumer has to have a parasite removed, and the whole scene showcases how disgusting she is, which she is. Her whole shtick is that she is a fat, disgusting whore with smelly private parts. I'm not kidding. She has a stand-up called The Leather Special. That is one of her jokes. Why on earth would anyone joke about that is beyond me. Amy Schumer has another film called Trainwreck where she's getting banged by a series of tall, muscular guys. Let me clue you into something about tall, muscular guys. They don't bang chicks who look like Amy Schumer. Well, black guys do. I had a buddy, Kareem, who would bang anything that moved. We would look at him in disgust, and then he would hang his head in shame. Stop banging fat white girls, Kareem. It's nasty. If she was banging black dudes, it would be realistic, but it wouldn't be PC because for some reason it pisses off black chicks. So they have Amy Schumer doing some wrestler from the WWE. They should have hired Kareem to bang her. At least it would be believable. Anyway, so there goes 10 subs. So her whole joke is that she's a fat drunken whore with a stinky poon, which she totally is, but in all her movies she's banging male models, except in I Feel Pretty, where the joke is a short chubby guy, basically Cecil, fell in love with her, except Cecil actually is charming and more importantly has money, so he's probably does bang pretty girls. Well, maybe not so much anymore. He seems to drink a lot lately, so maybe he's in a slump, a little depressed. Guys, I feel safe joking about all these Comicsgate guys because I feel fairly certain that they aren't listening to a video about Amy Schumer. So really, it's the perfect opportunity to laugh at their expense. And that reminds me, I keep hearing EVS talk about all these anti-Comicsgate guys. That is a pretty clever move. He's saying that these people who have issues with his behavior are against all 100,000 people in Comicsgate, which is nonsense. People have had some very mild criticism for his bizarre behavior. But then he'll do a 3-hour live stream about a channel with a few hundred subs who dared to give him the mildest criticism. This is, and I don't think it was about me, it was about some other channel. I think it was Night Wolf Plays or something, that's some other guy. That's a bit obsessive, but it gives a small channel some subs, which is cool if they care. I mean, not everyone is making YouTube videos to go into YouTube. They're just doing it because they like making videos. I also want to mention that Mike Miller has perhaps not handled this with the same amount of diplomacy in which I would have handled it. I expected better of a half Asian, but maybe his other half is Spanish or Irish, and you know what fiery tempers they have. If I was him, I would not have argued with EVS at all. You don't have to kiss his ass, but you can just agree to disagree, like gentlemen. Adults, EVS can make Mike Miller a millionaire. In fact, if Comicsgate was on friendly terms, Comicsgate Year 2 could make a lot of people a lot of money, instead of just making a few people a lot of money. Someone in my comments mentioned that I said Comicsgate was dead, that EVS and Zach have 100,000 subs and their books are doing well. They would be happy to be selling as well. Fair point. He also said that maybe the Comicsgate market has topped out. Has the Comicsgate audience reached saturation? No freaking way. Mainstream comics is a huge industry. I will guess that it's in the 9 figures, billions of dollars. Comicsgate and Comicsgate adjacent is over $2 million. EVS mentioned that he wanted to see Comicsgate hit $10 million this year, which would be 1% of the comic market. That goal is entirely attainable if everyone agreed to bury the hatchet. I mean, at some point, don't they look at each other and say, holy cow, we're 40-year-old dudes acting like our wives on their periods. Let me let you in on a little secret. The other night, EVS did a video about the people who were after him. I watched a minute of it and went back to watching the creature features. You can see my comments in their live stream. It was a bizarre vampire film that had a super 1970s vibe. It was filmed in 1972. It was very good. I mean, for a bad movie. Someone sent me an invite to a live stream, but I haven't set it up on my computer, only on my phone. But I will set it up tonight, so Ethan can call me an ass a-hole for an hour. Here's how the conversation would go. And I wish I could do his vocal fry, but I can't. I tried. Bianca, you're an a-hole. Why do you attack me? I just want to draw frogs and rescue them from my pool, because I'm a hero to frogs in the LGBT community. Bianca, you're an a-hole. What is your motivation? Ethan, my only goal in YouTube is for people to send me free comics. I actually started this channel because I was recovering from an injury and I had some free time where I was pretty much bedridden. So people have sent me some, and that's why a lot of my earlier videos were kind of salty and spicy, because I was in a lot of pain. And anyway, so people have sent me some Comicsgate stuff, and so far it's been excellent. Oddly enough, nobody has sent me Cyberfrog to review. The 90s Cyberfrog was very funny, so I suspect that the modern update is even better. My only complaint would be that he toned down the girl's boobs too much. No, I don't have a problem with late first-time campaigns. You have to cut first-timers some slack. And I realized that if I went on a stream and chatted with him, which eventually I will have to do, I think the people who hate EVS would be mad at me for not going after him harder, and the people who like EVS would be mad at me just in general and would come and, put dildos on my head and downvote my videos. So I think it would just piss everyone off and wouldn't really accomplish much. But it would get, I guess it would probably get views, which is good for whoever hosts it. So I mean, I get that. But anyway, I think it would lose me views. But that's part of YouTube, part of life. So the Cyberfrog, I forget her names. I think her name was like Heather or something. I admit that the girl's body in the first Cyberfrog was ridiculous. Her boobs were beyond double D's, and she weighed 100 pounds. She looked great, but that was in the 90s, and it wouldn't fly by today's standards. Fine. But he went too far. It kind of turned her into a soccer mom. She still has a rockin' body, but she's practically in a burqa. You don't bend over to the SJWs. The SJWs hate you. They will never forgive you for what, I don't know. For being an a-hole? Well, everyone tangentially involved in comics is insane. It's driven Cecil into sobriety. Clearly something must be done. We need to hold an intervention for him in a bar. If you look at the Twitter of those far-left comic nut jobs, they are all intolerant a-holes. Ethan is just par for the course. At least he is a right-of-center a-hole, which brings me to another point. We are all mostly right-of-center or moderates who are fed up with SJW comics. So why are we fighting like SJWs? You all have a huge financial interest in squashing the beef right now. And we, the audience, have a huge interest in getting entertainment, either via YouTube or getting good comics, graphic novels. Just stop fighting. Stop it. Shake hands, start going on each other's shows and talking like reasonable adults. And I hate to bring up religion because it's a bit manipulative, but aren't you guys all religious? Isn't there a part of your religion that says you're allowed to forgive the petty bull S, that you don't need to go jihad on each other over nonsense? Maybe I'm confusing religions here, but really, there's nothing unforgivable here. Nobody invaded someone's country in 1939. The way you guys are acting is embarrassing. I seem to be good at upsetting everyone so far, so, yeah, what am I going to do? Gotta be me, right? You're all adults and well-known, accomplished artists. Everyone in Comicsgate is an amazing writer or artist. Why not just stop fighting and start making money? More money. Comicsgate has not peaked, not even close to peaking. And the cream rises to the top. When you guys peak, you will shoot that cream all over the face of the SJW comic industry. One last thing about Snatch is that there's a scene in Bananaland where the women are all doing the work and the men are all sitting around drinking coffee. It's an awesome scene. And Amy Schumer notices this, and she mentions it with something I never would have expected in one of her movies, because it's bringing up the conflict between feminism and cultural relativity, I guess is the term, or cultural norms. And, when does a first world country have the right to impose their beliefs on a second or third world country? And Amy Schumer is watching these men sit around and drink coffee, and a lot of African cultures do that, and a lot of cultures have done that. And it's just their culture, the way, Islam treats girls and women in the Middle East, even young boys, the dancing boys of Afghanistan and Pakistan. And or sexual birth, what do you call it, mutilation, but to be fair, they do that in America too, but they do it to boys. And it's an interesting, nuanced, complicated point for a movie that has Amy Schumer in it. I give her credit for raising it. It's just, and my original point making this video was I wanted to talk about how Snatch would not be politically correct today because of the some issues it raises. And the thing is, criminals come in all colors and ethnicities and races and body types. There are criminals that run the rainbow, and they're straights and gays and whatever. To just purposely exclude 90% of the world because they're the wrong color for woke Hollywood is kind of obvious. So this movie, made by Amy Schumer, who's a far leftist, nut job feminist, it was kind of interesting. It did some interesting things, even though it wasn't a very good film. Anyway, realize, guys, I'm just joking about everything. Don't take anything too seriously. And I'll set up my computer and figure out how to use Streamlabs. And I need a microphone. Shoot. Allegedly, you can't. I don't know. Could I use a mic from a headset? Or do I have to go out and get a professional mic or something? Anyway, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what I need. Oh, shoot. Am I going to get in trouble for showing boobs? God, damn it. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I will see y'all next episode.